And this is Mickey van der Ven at the game yesterday. I think who's he with? Maybe his girlfriend.
No, I think that's somebody from the Spurs media team.
Oh, you're probably right about that. Yeah. But I love seeing the injured players when they're still like getting involved in celebrating the wins. And there's Mickey van der Ven on the sidelines there celebrating. And let's just hope he's back as soon as possible. He's so crucial. But absolutely love how happy he is that we're winning the game yesterday.
It strikes me just with that one. I wonder whether like. So she's kind of applauding like very conservatively.
Oh, then Mickey,
I kind of wonder whether she actually doesn't support Spurs. So she like works for Spurs. I'm basing this on the fact that I've worked at a Premier League football club before that I don't support, and I wonder if like she has to watch the game because she works for Spurs, but she doesn't really support Spurs. So when Spurs score or do well, she's like, oh yeah, great. And then Mickey van der Ven knows this and is just like, no, I'm going to make you celebrate like me. And she's a bit embarrassed by it. So it could be that. That's all. That's my thought. But in the comments, let us know why you think that is happening. I think that's a really funny little video, to be honest. Not
a bad theory. Return of the Shells is a pretty decent addition to 2023 that will stay forevermore. Well, yeah, this is something I really like. Before every game they play when the Spurs on the trumpet, it really gets the crowd going before kickoff as well. And I really like this addition. And you know what? I got to give Spurs in general credit. For stuff they have been implementing for the match day experience, which is really improving, especially how Ange is saying after games is turning into a nightclub and stuff. I really like the party atmosphere that it's turned into after wins and stuff like that. So I think definitely I've been critical of like them not focusing on that enough, but definitely this season I'm definitely seeing big changes in that. So credit where credit's due.
Yeah, and So I'm a good friend of James Black, the voice of Spurs. Check him out if you don't follow him, who obviously wrote the I'm Loving Big Ange Instead song. And actually, to be fair,
we've had him on the show a few times.
Oh, great. Okay. So, and since the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium was built, they've been employing him to do gigs, and they employ a lot of people to do gigs in the bars as well. So, look, let's not doubt there is a business element to that as well. Keeping people in the stadium for 3 hours after, or 2 or 3 hours after the game and 3 hours before the game does help. But also, you know, it shows they haven't just built a breeze block grey ground with lots of seats in it. They are trying to make it an experience as well. I know some people would see that as a negative, but I agree with you, Sim. I think that stuff like this is really important in terms of trying to find ways to make our ground as atmospheric as possible and make it as hard as possible for opposition teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think since we moved to the stadium, that has been a bit of a struggle doing that, but recently, I have to say, big improvements. Harley says, Son is so fake, and this is a reaction to, I guess this is like Son's like ridiculous overperformance in XG, which he just has every single year. He's obviously on 12 Premier League goals. You can see he's accumulated about 7.12 XG. But if you actually look as well at the big chances missed, obviously Haaland sits right at the top with 17, wow. and Son is 47th, only missed 3 big chances. And I think that goes to show just how clinical he is, because Haaland obviously got 14 Premier League goals, but if you look at the big chances missed, that just is basically evidence of how many chances he gets in general, whereas Son is just second in the league in terms of goals scored. Yeah, only missed 3 big chances, so he's just so clinical, isn't he? It's ridiculous.
Look, I'm going to start by saying that shows how Son is one of the world's elite finishers. Unbelievable. But it also goes with my theory that I've been peddling for years now, which is had Harry Kane got his move to Manchester City, he would score like 60 or 70 goals all competitions in a season, because he would not have missed 17 big chances. I don't think he missed 17 big chances in his career at Spurs. Like, anyway, I know we're not talking about Bayern Munich's number 9, right? But as a club legend, I still think what an incredible player he was. But yes, in terms of finishing, Sonny is absolutely elite, and those stats prove that, and long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous finisher, consistently being one of the best in Europe. AC with posting a video. This is Simon Huber accidentally blowing the whistle in Son's ear and then having a little laugh. So absolutely brilliant. Son's always good for a bit of banter, but
what's Son doing? The guy's got the whistle to his mouth. Like, it's not like it's a ref. Son's walking towards him.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I don't know what Son's expecting, to be honest. he's probably expected a large...
It's funny every time you look at it. Like.
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. There's Tottenham, an old captain and the new captain. Hugo Lloris obviously saying his goodbyes to Human Son yesterday. Really lovely picture there. And there was obviously a lovely moment. We didn't really chat about it, but at half-time, Hugo did come onto the pitch and obviously was able to say his goodbye to the crowd, and he got a really good reception, and they played a lovely video and a nice little interview with Paul Coyte as well.
Do you feel that his legacy has been tarnished in any way by this kind of last 6 months and the kind of it ending weirdly at halftime in that Newcastle thing, or do you? I think we'll forget about that.
I hope so. Yeah, for me, it doesn't affect how I see it.
Yeah.
Do I think overall, in terms of amongst the Spurs fan base, will it affect some people? I'm sure, but I think overall, I think it's it's a footnote in what was a really great career for Hugo Lloris, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't do that. I don't know. I've liked that. The whole goal movie, I'm not sure we can sit here for an hour and a half watching a goal, so we're not going to do that. But if you have time, go watch that. Squawker says most league games played in Europe's Big Five division in 2023. Heung-min Son, there you go, sits top for most games played. That just goes to show how much we rely on him, isn't it? And at 31, is that a bit worrying though? At 31, you probably want to manage his minutes a bit better, don't you? At this point, or is it? Do you think Salah, I guess, plays every minute, doesn't he? So is it a big deal?
Not by this.
Yeah, I guess true. That's a fair point.
The thing that would worry me a little bit about that is that he also is. He obviously has to fly off to Asia for all the international games as well. So there's a lot of minutes in his legs. He plays all of those games too because he's captain. But look, Sonny plays with a smile on his face. He's incredibly fit. His dad takes him to the David Lloyd Training Centre for extra training after training at Spurs every day. If you haven't seen the sensational documentary, you'll see that. And also his dad doesn't allow him to have any social life whatsoever. So he's 100% Spurs. I know I'm saying that flippantly, but actually I believe that he is 100% football. I've seen interviews with Sonny where he talks about how he doesn't want to have another life while he's playing football. He's got plenty of time for that. So in terms of someone who treats their body the right way and prepares in the right way, I think that is what allows him to get on the pitch as much as he does.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Spurs Express with James Maddison on Instagram, and that's Son with I think his name's Leo Maddison's son there, and he does seem to be everyone's favourite Uncle Sonny, doesn't he? He seems to be get some of all the players' kids. It's absolutely brilliant.
Cute. I'd not seen that one. That is so cute. I love that, and I just love how much of the team spirit it shows. It would be easy for Madders to be a bit jealous of his captain because he's one of the vice captains, but it's clear that they're a family, and I love stuff like this. So cute.
Absolutely brilliant. Huminator. Okay, we'll resolve this because just more pictures of Son and Hugo. But look, they're great pictures, aren't they? Absolutely really great nice. Seeing the captains. Brennan Johnson on Instagram says, how times have changed. And this is, first of all, the picture of him taking Richarlison out last season when Richarlison was in that ball, exactly. And now this is Brennan setting Richarlison up and their best mates. And he says, Happy New Year from me and Rishi, lad. So yeah, how times have changed. It's funny how football works, isn't it, sometimes?
It is, and they're developing a bit of an understanding on the pitch as well. And you need those kind of understandings amongst pairs and trios within your teams to really push on to that next level. It's quite underrated how important things like that are. And if Brennan Johnson knows that Richarlison is going to make that run across his defender every time, then he's going to play that ball there and we're going to score a number of goals from it. So it's great to see that stuff, and I love it when you're able to see footballers take the mickey out of themselves as well. That's
I love that when the shows don't take it too seriously. Tottenham tweeting Luke Littler with Madders there. So Madders obviously probably had him in his box. He's obviously got his own personalised box.
He's not a Spurs fan though, I read.
No, I read he's a Man United fan, but obviously Madders must have invited him. He's absolutely ripping things up in the darts at the moment. Still in the PDC. Is it the PDC, the tournament?
It's the World, the
World Championships.
Sim, if you didn't know how old he was, how old do you think would you guess Luke Littler was?
I would have said probably like 27 or something.
I would say 33.
33. It's unbelievable how this guy is 16. It's absolutely crazy. But look, fair play to him. He's absolutely ripping it up at the moment. The World Championships just beat Van Barneveld, didn't he? So unbelievable win for him. And yeah, Madders still obviously there every game, supporting the team. There's actually more Maddison videos as well we'll get to in a sec, but actually brilliant stuff. This is a video next of Sonny after the game, just walking down, obviously absolutely delighted with the win, holding his arms up. I don't know if he's giving someone a high five there.
Is that Rob Birch, the keeper coach? I think it is. Rob Birch
with Rob Birch as well.
He's the keeper coach now. Yeah,
absolutely love that. Spurs OTM says mood headed into 2024, and this is Son at the end of the game as well, going over to the South Stand, and this is
absolutely pumped.
Yeah, and this is what I love. There's a difference when between how Kane used to be with the fans and Son. Like Kane did obviously had a good relationship with the fans and used to come and give us a clap and everything, but he never had such outward shows of emotion like this. I felt like Sonny does.
I have to say that I think with Harry Kane, when the whole City thing happened, he lost he lost a percentage of his love for the club at that point.
Mm.
He was very back in the good old days of Poch and you know,
that's fair.
together. There was a lot of this kind of stuff. Don't you remember the Lions? Like the tweet he did about
yeah,
the Lions?
fair. That is
and then
fair.
Jamie
You
Vardy
make a good point.
back the Lions, like the Lion King thing. So I think that day he was just like, right, I'm just going to be a professional now, and I'm going to find my way to the best thing for my career. Single-minded about it, and fair enough. You know, I think Levy did do the dirty on him a bit, probably, but also he signed a 6-year deal. You know, if you give your brother the job as being your agent and you don't put a release clause in a 6-year deal, then you are responsible for that situation. But I agree with you. Sonny did sign a deal at Spurs when he was like 29, 30, and he's now the captain of the club. Harry Kane was never captain of Tottenham Hotspur. Like, he took it on sometimes as a temporary thing, but Sonny's actually the captain, and he wouldn't be the captain if he didn't really love the club and want to be here for the long term. And I love to see this,
Yeah, these are my favourite things from Sonny. Bell says, Gio loves Sonny so much, and I love to see that as well, just them developing that relationship, and that's a brilliant hug, I'm sure, was after Lo Celso set him up with the goal as well. Yeah. Absolutely love that hug as well.
Here's the tweet I was
this is the tweet you were talking about from Chidi. It says, Spurs playing 4 fullbacks in defence are 1 point behind us. I don't even want to see an Arteta coach side with that many injuries. And yeah, I mean, I think he probably makes a good point, because imagine Arsenal without Saliba, Gabriel, Odegaard in like just out for long periods.
Yeah, this is,
and Rice as well, and Rice.
That's exactly what the next guy says in reply. He says it's equivalent to us losing Saliba and Gabriel, Odegaard and Rice. We'd be fighting relegation. And Chidi, and these are all Arsenal fans. Chidi, the guy who sent the original one, said our fans would excuse it as well. Look, you know, we've been very unlucky with injuries and suspensions, and we've dealt with it really well. But this just shows, like what I was talking about earlier, there's a little turn in the Arsenal fan base at the moment. And look, you know, maybe they'll win the next game and it won't mean a lot. But what a new year! What a new year! What a time!
Couldn't be going any better on New Year's Eve. Next up, it's from the Spurs Express. It's Pedro Por on Instagram saying, back to business, happy new year everyone, and here's to more wins. But I love that. I love how everyone's getting involved on the pigeon dance now with Richarlison, and it's absolutely brilliant. Everyone seems to be going
crazy in that picture.
Absolutely fantastic. Like? What a brilliant smile.
Yeah,
he looks like that meme. You know that meme, that guy who's smiling like that. I'm trying to remember who it is.
He's also got like a touch of the Freddie Mercury's about.
Freddie Mercury, interesting.
Yeah, but anyway, no, it's great to see them doing the celebration together and stuff. And also, just good that Richarlison scored the 3rd goal, because when we were 3-0 up, then I'm like, okay, you can do your pigeon now, mate. We're probably not going to lose from here. I've
just realised they're both wearing red boots in this day and age. I remember a famous story. Timu Tainio said he wore red boots once to a game, and he's saying he was getting so much shit from the fans, like he never wore red boots again. But
I guess back in Tainio's day, like coloured boots were a little more rare. Now you have to wear what you're told, I guess.
Fair, true. Brian Hill also on Instagram after yesterday's victory saying, victory at home to close 2023. Happy New Year, everyone. I'm convinced that 2024 will bring even better things. Lovely picture, him giving Vicario a little hug there after the game. Absolutely lovely. Big Vic. Some more pictures of Porro yesterday. Oh, well, same thing from him on Instagram, but some more pictures of him celebrating after the win. Good stuff. He's actually quite active on social media as well.
Yeah, the one below Porro doing a little dance. If you see the one below, sorry, not the picture.
This one, yeah. This is a video that Tottenham tweeted out. This is after the game as well, and this is what Ange was saying about Spurs turning into a nightclub, because this is where they got the dance music on after the game, and Porro's having a little bit of a dance. Yeah, Free From Desire, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant stuff, and Porro's absolutely loving it. Do you reckon he would be good on a night out, Porro?
I do, actually. Do you know what this stuff really reminds me of? Do you remember the last game at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Everton before we went to the Champions League final? And the Everton fans were all chanting, we'll all be having a party when Tottenham win the cup. And then it turned into a genuine rave outside the stadium, because Brandon Block was there.
No, they did. Yeah, they did music
outside. And it was a beautiful sunny May day, and we were just all dancing in the outside. Like, life could not get any better at that point, because there was a chance. There was a chance that we'd win the Champions League. That's something that Arsenal had never done. And like, we would just be on the promised land. That lasted
Absolutely.
22 seconds of the final.
Yeah, if only. Amazon Prime tweeting out saying Son has found another level this season. They're saying now he's got 17 goal contributions this season after his goal yesterday, which actually outstrips his tally of the whole of last season, which was 16 goal contributions. After last season, was there any concern that maybe Son was getting beyond his best?
Yes.
There was.
Yeah, I worried. Lots of people were talking about it, and you have to think about it. You know, had his legs gone, was there a real worry? But we didn't know anything about this injury he said that he was carrying. And if you're playing through the pain and if you're having to take injections, it never really ends well. And last season was bad. And then, I don't know, I guess there was pressure for him probably to get out on the pitch with Harry Kane as well. They had such an important partnership together. And obviously last season just wasn't a good season. So, you know, yes, in answer to your question, I was worried about it, but he's really proven that wrong, and it's so good. He's such an elite player, such an elite finisher, and I cannot wait till we have the players back on the pitch who can just set him up with the chances that he deserves, because he's having to do a lot of work himself at the moment, but when Madders gets back on that pitch and the options that we can have in midfield when Madders is back, then Sonny will... he will thrive.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he is having to do a lot of the work himself, but he has got 8 goal contributions in December, more than any other Premier League player, which is brilliant. Cho tweeting out, now bring home the Asia Cup. And that's obviously Heung-min Son saying, waving goodbye, signing off with the goal he scored yesterday.
Yeah, we're all South Korea fans now.
100%. We're actually going to be covering the games on our Korean channel if you want to go check that out. Hyun-min says Richie got scolded by Sonny. Do you think Sonny's talking about the miss maybe that, you know, Sonny played Richie and he's bringing that up, do you think?
I think he might be.
Because this is right at the end of the game. I wonder what else he could be talking about. Richie doesn't like the whatever.
I feel like Sonny's like doing it as a very much like a half joke. Like it's kind of a joke, but also what the hell? And Richie then Richie reacts like, oh, I wish you hadn't brought that up. Oh God, you're right.
Absolutely love
but
that moment.
Cute. You've got to be able to take the piss out of each other too. You know, it's right. I think Sonny is genuinely, at least half of him, really annoyed at him.
Because it was a beautiful through ball. EIF says an injury-ruled Spurs have rarely had their first choice 11 available and only 1 point behind Arsenal, who was supposed to be the team challenging City this season after multiple big money signings. I like that the neutrals are catching on now as well. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and actually, I thought this was going to say this, but it kind of doesn't, but it alludes to it. The fact that Arsenal fans have been so sure that they are going to be the team that's going to win the league this season, and they are the only team who can compete with City, and they are so far ahead of Spurs. You know, do you remember when we were so happy that we kind of turned Sheffield United around to beat them in the last minute? Arsenal fans were right on us, like, oh, you've won the league in September or whatever. And then actually it's Arsenal fans who are the most deluded. I'm sure of it. They don't have a clue what's going on. I think Arsenal are good this season, don't get me wrong. I think they'll be there or thereabouts, but they're not as good as Arsenal fans think they are. And like I said, it's starting to turn a bit and it is funny to watch.
Yeah, let's hope it keeps going in the same direction. The Spurs Express says 9 goals and assists now in 920 minutes for Richarlison this season. And look, he really is starting to turn it around when it comes to being productive, isn't he, Richarlison? And hopefully, look, you said he's going to get 15 Premier League goals. And you know, since he came back from, he admitted about he had the mental problems he was having, the injury and the mental problems he was having. Like in terms of the minutes to how productive he's been, he has really been getting regular goal contributions, hasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he feels like he's more a proper part of this team now, like an important part, and in this coming month when Sonny's away, he's going to have to take that up another level. Really just say, I'm the leader here, like I'm one of the leaders. And that brings me to another question, actually, which we should talk about, is who's going to be captain when Sonny's away? But Rishi, I don't think will be captain, but he might get one of the vice-captain roles during that period. He has to show, I'm one of the leaders. And I think, and I've said it before, I think he thrives more when he's one of the main men. Like, if not the main man, the go-to guy. And I think there are goals to come from Richarlison that we haven't seen him scored yet. And I mean like goals where maybe he's breaking into the box and he just fires it into the top corner from outside the box. He's got that finish in him. I know he does. But what's important at the moment is he's turned round what was happening before, which was kind of snatching at chances and not quite getting them right. Now he's finishing goals well. Yes, he missed a difficult one yesterday, but then he bounced back, and that's massively important. And I think there's a player in Richarlison who could really make it at Tottenham Hotspur. And I think Ange probably thinks that too.
Do you reckon he's starting to turn people's opinions, or do you think people
5
are
and
still...
5.
Yeah, I think why not?
It's hard to score goals in the Premier League. Not many players score 15 league goals in a season. And I'm saying he will. He hasn't for Spurs yet, but he's capable of that. and not many players are, and certainly not many players who you can get at £60 million now. You know, what did Chelsea have to pay for Nicholas Jackson? 40 odd million, 45 million pounds. The guy is an absolute joke. Like, sure, he's a bit young, but he is dross, absolute dross. So, look, I think there's a player in Richarlison to come good. I really do.
In terms of that question you asked, who's going to be captain? I think the obvious choice is Ben Davies.
I think Ben Davies, yeah.
But Bentancur may be an outside shout.
If Bentancur's fit, then maybe it'll be Bentancur. But
yeah, I think
my
Davies
main instinct says Ben Davies, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Tottenham obviously tweeting this is a video after the game. I actually love Ben Davies's reaction here. He's like, he just had a really tough affair like that. That was a tough game kind of reaction.
He's just such a normal bloke, Ben Davies. He's not performative in any way. He's just like, yeah. 3 points.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. And everyone else is just like, wah!
Yeah, like playing up for the camera.
Buzzing, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Great reactions there from the Spurs players. Richie's delighted. The next one is from Hotspur Reports. This is Maddison with his kid after Spurs scored yesterday. Brilliant video there. Maddison just celebrating with this kid there. Absolutely love to see it. Absolutely fantastic. He loves to be the main man, doesn't he?
Oh, I hadn't seen this next one either.
And the next one, this is Maddison before kickoff as the Spurs were ready to go out. And he's giving Sonny a big hug, just making sure that he's getting ready for the game. Absolutely love it. A little kiss there as well, a little kiss on the cheek.
I love these guys.
Love it. That's become a feature because Romero, I think, all the South Americans, is very much a South American thing to give your teammates a little kiss on the cheek. But it looks like the English lads, looks like the English lads are adopting it as well. Now, absolutely love it. What do you think of the white jumper? You a fan of it?
It looks like it's worth more than everything I own. I bet that's like probably 1,500 quid of jumper right there.
Absolutely. I'm glad it's white though. He's got with the programme. Yeah. Billy T says, huge win in more ridiculous circumstances. Bournemouth, a very impressive side. Unlucky today. One day when 100 players return from injury, Spurs are going to be absolutely brilliant. What a manager. And I couldn't agree more. I think under the circumstances to get these results and also just to get us scoring the kind of goals we are scoring, even with these injuries, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, I completely agree. And even though I'm pretty sure Billy T blocked me about 6 years ago on Twitter, I always love his tweets. He's a hilarious bloke. And also when he's being serious about Spurs, also really nails exactly how I'm feeling as well. So I agree that.
Spurs OTM, this is Son with his celebration yesterday, the classic camera celebration there. Then it cuts to some Korean fans as well. Absolutely love that. I
think he just looked more relieved than anything when he got his goal yesterday.
Yeah, because he'd missed a few chances, hadn't he? So I think he thought, the next one that comes to me, I can't miss that one. This is Sonny, always so happy for Richie, and this is Richie after his goal. You can see Sonny embracing him. Look, giving him the point as well. He's always looking to give Richie more confidence, isn't he? I've always noticed that recently. Definitely since he's come.
He's a smart guy, Sonny. He knows how football players work and what they need and who needs an arm around the shoulder and when he needs to scream blue murder at Hugo Lloris in the changing room at half time. So he's a class act, Sonny. Love
absolutely. And now that is a brilliant picture of Sonny when it was absolutely bucketing it down at some point yesterday during the game. You had a
hailstorm, didn't you, as well?
Yeah, during the game it was crazy. I thought that was what I thought wasn't going to play into our favour, but luckily we actually did score at that time. But yeah, there's a brilliant picture of Son in the rain there. This is a picture we did also see before of Son, Richarlison and Porro all doing the pigeon dance after Richarlison scoring. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Danny says, I'm loving Big Ange and said, Happy New Year, Spurs fans. And guess what? Only 1 point between us and the scum. This is Postecoglou walking off the pitch yesterday with his song, I'm loving Big Ange and said, being played over the speakers.
Nice bit with Gio and his daughter, I think, as well.
And then a little cameo from Decky there as well. I love watching the scenes after a big win there. Brilliant stuff. Tottenham tweeting saying same, and this is just Vicario after the game. The same mood, I'm assuming. Brilliant stuff.
Love it.
This video, Happy New Year, everybody. This is Human Son obviously waving goodbye. We touched on that before. Spurs Express says speedy recovery, Alejo. And yeah, obviously he looked like he was in serious pain. And obviously we mentioned before he did leave on crutches. So let's hope he is going to be okay. After that, he looked like in a lot of distress.
Yeah.
The video's been copyrighted, so we have to move on. Brilliant picture here from Craven Cottage with Fulham fans saying stop crying to the Arsenal fans. Absolutely love it. There was must have been a lot of crying Arsenal fans in the away end. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Spurs Watch says Giovanni Lo Celso versus Bournemouth, 92% pass, actually 60 touches, 34 out of 37 passes completed, 10 out of 13 ground duels, 9 ball recoveries, 4 fouls, 1, 3 out of 3 dribbles, 3 out of 3 tackles, 2 key passes, and 2 assists. New contract soon,
Yes,
with fingers crossed. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Big Ange getting stuck in. This was the incident yesterday where Ange got stuck in with Iraola, I think accusing him of time wasting or something. But yeah, look, this was a real flashpoint during the game, wasn't it? When Ange Postecoglou was really getting irate with Iraola, and there was a real clash on the.
Was it at him or was it at one of his coaching staff? Because it seems like Iraola was trying to kind of drag someone away. I'm not really sure, but
I want to see where this. Yeah, it looked like coaching stuff actually. If you scroll to the beginning of the video, it looks like it definitely started. But then Iraola does seem to get involved.
One thing you can guarantee is that Giola Celso was right in the middle there, just like he did in the last game. Do you remember in the last game against Brighton, he ran up to João Pedro on the sideline, gave it one of them, get involved. Here, he's right in the middle again, and then when he gets booked afterwards, he's like, "Why am I getting booked?" Well, because you're right in the middle of it. What are you doing?
It's interesting as well to see what in the thick of it, Brennan Johnson jumps in and tries to split everyone up, which is,
well, he's tiny.
That's quite interesting. Wouldn't have thought he would be the one to get in the middle of it, but there he is.
I think that was all a miscommunication, and then it was funny that he came out with this quote afterwards, like, "Oh, we were just offering each other's New Year,
Yeah, well, just wishing happy. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. This is a gif from one of the moments in that. You can see Postecoglou, getting his finger out, really trying to go at one of the coaches, and the coach was like, once Postecoglou pulls the finger, he's like, all right, I'm getting out. I'm getting out of here. I'm not getting involved.
And then also the fact that it's on like the side of the pitch where there's quite a big steep ramp almost. It's like the Bournemouth guy just looks like he's falling backwards the whole time. It's great. There
It's absolutely brilliant. This was Alejo Valise going off the pitch yesterday with Postecoglou consoling him. That was really distressing scenes a bit after the game. What was the second person actually to come off the pitch crying? But let's hope he's all right. Doesn't look good at all for him.
Yeah, but why not take him on a stretcher then? Stop walking on it.
Yeah, it was strange as well because they had the stretcher out and then he decided to walk off. So very bit of an odd moment there. But look, we're wishing him all the best. But that is it for REAX for the win against Bournemouth.